And I have worked very, very hard to become a whole human being.
Kramer vs. Kramer saw perhaps one of Meryl Streep's best performances in her entire career. And what could be better than Kramer vs. Kramer? Well, it's watching 20 weird facts about Kramer vs. Kramer. Make sure to stick to the end for the amazing bonus fact as well. Number 20. The wine glass scene.
Okay, just do what you have to do.
The scene in Kramer vs. Kramer, where Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep sit down to have dinner in the restaurant, features a scene where Hoffman, who's playing the role of Ted Kramer, throws a wine glass against the wall in frustration. What's interesting is that the reaction that we see from Meryl Streep is completely genuine. Only Hoffman and the cameraman knew what he was about to do, as they wanted a genuinely shocked reaction from Meryl while shooting this emotionally intense scene. Guess they got what they wanted. Number 19. Life lessons. Dustin Hoffman, who was going through a marital separation during the filming of the movie, contributed the experiences he was going through to the writing of the film and believed that his life experiences would make for a more genuine movie. Soon after the filming of the movie was completed, Dustin Hoffman would complete the divorce from his wife. This movie was perhaps the way in which Dustin was able to truly channel the feelings he was going through in this difficult period of his life. Number 18. The ice cream scene.
Now you listen to me. Don't be smart now. You go right back and put that back until you finish your dinner.
There is one scene in the movie that shows the acting capacity of Dustin Hoffman and Justin Henry, who played Billy Kramer, and it's the scene in which Billy asks his father to skip dinner with him and go straight for ice cream. This heartwarming moment is one that has moved fans across the globe for its genuineness, and what's crazy is that this scene was completely improvised by Dustin Hoffman and Justin. Robert Benton, the director, enjoyed their acting so much that he decided to leave it in. Number 17. The youngest nominee. Justin Henry, albeit at the tender age of 8, delivered perhaps what is one of the greatest performances ever to be given by a child actor in that century. His expressions, feelings, and emotions were conveyed so well that he had many adults crying in the theater. His performance was so amazing that the Oscar Academy nominated him for the role of Best Supporting Actor. Justin Henry remains the youngest ever person to be nominated for such a prestigious award. Number 16. Rewrites. Meryl Streep is a person who acts out her characters in such a manner that there is no question as to who or what her character is. Nothing is left up to the interpretation of the audience, and Meryl makes sure that it's that way. Even for Kramer vs. Kramer, Meryl took the liberty of telling Benton that she wanted her character rewritten, as she believed the character was written in such a way that the audience was left to understand why Joanna left, instead of the character expressing it for herself. Number 15. Channeling grief. Dustin Hoffman is not the only person who was channeling the pain of his separation into the acting that he was doing for Kramer vs. Kramer. Meryl Streep was going through an intensely emotional time during the shooting of this film as well. Meryl had just experienced the death of her lover, John Cazale, who was an accomplished actor in his own right. Meryl had taken the pain and grief of her life and transformed it into something that was not just phenomenal on screen, but highly relatable as well. Number 14. Easier to handle. The tension between the separated wife and husband as they fight over custody of the child makes the movie an emotional roller coaster, and there to document it all was an original stenographer. The stenographer who was recording the proceedings of the court was an actual stenographer by profession, and when asked by Robert Benton as to whether she had worked many such cases, she said that she had, and because of the mental burnout from recording such emotionally stressful cases, she switched over to stenographing homicide cases because they were easier to handle. Number 13. Oscar mishaps. The Oscar Awards are, no doubt, one of the highest honors an actor can be bestowed with in recognition for their excellence in acting. Many actors enter the industry with the very intent of winning such an award, and only a few make that dream come true. Even professionals like Leonardo DiCaprio took several years and several nominations to finally win one. And then you have Meryl Streep, who, after winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Kramer vs. Kramer, forgot to take her award with her after leaving it behind a toilet. Talk about being too good for the Academy. Number 12. A Real Bond. The film primarily centers around the work-obsessed father, Ted Kramer, forming a connection with his son, Billy, after his wife leaves the family. The father-son duo, played by Dustin Hoffman and Justin Henry, ended up forming a strong bond over the course of filming this movie. This is because Dustin would work with Justin before every scene, discussing what they were about to do and discussing them at length to make sure that Justin, who was a small boy, didn't feel overwhelmed by it. Number 11. Raw talent. Perhaps one of the most moving scenes in the entire movie we get to see is Joanna explaining in front of the courtroom as to why she left the family. Meryl delivers a performance that is so powerful that it changes the perspective that everyone has about the absent mother to a flawed human being. You would think that Meryl had practiced each and every line of the script to perfection, which is why she delivers such a heavy performance, but the truth is that she nearly improvised the entire thing. Talk about pure talent. Are you enjoying the video so far? Well, if you stuck around this long, make sure to stay till the end to hear the amazing bonus fact. Number 10. Fun and games. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep often poked fun at each other along with Justin Henry by playing a game every morning before shooting. As the movie was centered around a divorce case, the two would often ask Justin to pick one of them over the other. Justin once told Dustin that he would pick Meryl because she was nice, and Dustin, in response, replied, "Oh yeah? Work with her 5 weeks, then see what you say." A rather dark joke for such an emotional movie. Number 9. Tension on screen. Things weren't always fine and dandy between the on-screen parent duo. Initially, Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep had differing views and tension between them. Dustin had heard many a positive thing about Meryl before shooting started, and about how she was preparing for the role, and he felt in the moment that he was trying to be upstaged. Hoffman would even have a blowout when Streep suggested changes to the writing for the restaurant scene where he throws the wine glass. Although Dustin agrees he hated her guts, he respected her as an actress, as she only suggested what she felt was best for the film. Number 8. Overstepped. While the film is a masterpiece in storytelling, Meryl Streep said that Dustin Hoffman had overstepped and that she would never work with him again for one single thing that he did while shooting that completely overstepped the boundaries. During the scene where Joanna tells Ted that she's leaving him, Dustin felt he wasn't getting the reaction that he wanted from Meryl, so Dustin slapped Meryl unprompted to get her into the right mindset. Meryl said that he had completely overstepped and had done something she never agreed with, and as such, she would never work with him again. Number 7. R-rated. The film was originally set to get an R rating because of one single scene in Kramer vs. Kramer, but it avoided the rating by optically darkening the scene. The scene we are talking about is the one where JoBeth Williams is shown fully nude on screen after having a one-night stand with Dustin Hoffman in the film. The scene ended up getting optically darkened to ensure that the film avoided getting R-rated, but the undarkened version exists on other television prints. Number 6. Design choices. Nestor Almendros, one of the best film cinematographers of the modern film industry, objected to Billy's room being decorated with Disney figurines. But when you hear his reasoning, it will surprise you. It had nothing to do with copyrights, lighting, or shooting. Rather, it had to do with the fact that Nestor felt like having a figurine in the room would make the scenes look like there was a third person intruding in on what was supposed to be a very intimate moment. And Robert Benton agreed with him as well and decided on painting clouds on the walls instead. Number 5. Pregnancy. Meryl Streep is literally a powerhouse in acting, and the final scene where she stands in the courtroom and delivers her monologue is nothing short of legendary. But the thing that makes that scene even more incredible is the fact that Meryl was very pregnant with her son Henry during that scene, which is why she's wearing a raincoat. Number 4. Manhattan and Kramer. And when we said Meryl was a powerhouse in acting, we weren't joking. She was shooting scenes for the film Manhattan while working on Kramer versus Kramer. Meryl used to run down to the set of Manhattan and film the scenes for that movie when the sets for Kramer versus Kramer used to go on break, thus allowing her to shoot 2 movies at once. It seems like other than sleep, Meryl was always on her feet. Number 3. J.G. Mellon's. The restaurant scene is perhaps one of the most intense scenes in the entire film, and it was shot in the J.G. Mellon restaurant on 74th Street and 3rd Avenue in Manhattan. The owner of the restaurant has framed the iconic scene, which was shot there, and hung it up in the restaurant, where it remains to this day. Number 2. Terrific. The closing scene of the movie, where Ted looks at Joanna and says, "Terrific," was not one that was planned at all. It was instead an unscripted moment that Benton decided to leave in after watching Hoffman and Streep practice it off-screen. Benton had decided that it was a rather tender moment shared between the two that was better left in than out. Number 1. From acting to sales. Justin Henry, who played Justin Henry, perhaps had one of the best prospective careers of any child actors in the 70s, but he decided to leave it all. Justin Henry retired acting and decided to go into media sales, where he would become a district sales manager. Bonus fact: the original choice for Joanna. Believe it or not, Meryl Streep was not the original choice for Joanna and instead was actually cast for another role in the movie. Streep was originally intended to be the girl Ted Kramer has a one-night stand with, which was eventually played by Jo Beth Williams. Streep eventually accepted the role of Joanna after Kate Jackson, the original pick for Joanna, ended up not being able to accept the role because she was contractually forbidden from doing so. If you like this video, we think you will enjoy this one. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Make sure to leave a comment as well telling us which fact was your favorite.